When you're going to say your name, your age, and the school you go to. And What's the first time?
3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Zoe Milan with Zoe's Book Club with a Lotta Books. Today we have a special guest from the local Cedar Valley area returning to our studio, Miss Stephanie A. Sorensen, children's book author. And she is here today to share another adventure story about her dog Flash in her latest book, Flash, the Amazing Hound Helps Santa. Welcome to Zoe's Book Club with a Lotta Books. Welcome to our show, Miss Sorensen. Give us an update on what you have been working on since you were on the show in March.
When I was here last time, I had just completed my book, Flash, the Amazing Basset Hound Visits the Spa. And over the course of the last 11 months, I have been working on Flash's latest adventure, Flash, the Amazing Basset Hound Helps Santa. So that is my latest book.
And anyone, would you like to introduce yourself? Starting from me, I don't know, just going through my life. I'm Zoe.
I'm Trillian. I go to Cunningham and I'm 8 years old. I'm Shafia. I go to Cunningham and I'm 2 years old.
I'm Kenzie. I'm Kenzie, and I am 7 years old, and I go to Orange Elementary.
Hi, my name's Elaine. I'm 6 years old, and I go to Lincoln Elementary.
Hi, my name is Lashara Brown. I'm 10 years old, and I go to Cunningham.
Hi, my name is Dion Baston. I go to Becker Elementary. I'm 10 years old.
Hi, my name is Amelia Johnson. I am 8 years old and I go to Lincoln Elementary.
Thank you. And now I would like to ask a few questions.
All right, go ahead.
And we know our first question took you 11 months to get the book done.
Yes.
And could you tell us about your recent book signing that took place at the UNI bookstore?
Yes, I was invited to the University Bookstore to do a book signing where there were a total of 17 authors there that night from across the state of Iowa, some from the Cedar Valley and some from other parts of the state. And we were invited to do the local book signing and let other people in the community know how many Iowa authors there actually are. So it was a very good evening. We did a signing, we had snacks. There were lots of people, and it was great to see Zoe there.
Do you know the other local authors?
I knew some of them from some signings that I have done and some book readings that I have done over at Irving Elementary and Lowell, and so I knew some of the other authors from different places.
As an author, do you have a book signing for each book that is published?
Yes, my publisher sets up book signings based on my availability, my time, and when I can get out to do that. So they send me a list of places that they would have set up a book signing, and then I get to choose whether or not I would like to go to those, and then I confirm with the places that want to have me visit.
I'm going to jump in here, Stephanie, because I was at your book signing and I was just amazed at the local talent that we have. And one book that really stood out that's on this is the Scholastic book that tells you what level you're reading at. And the author's name was Mary Beth Bolts.
Yes.
And I just couldn't believe it. I mean, you wrote the book Dogrella, because that's one of Zoe's books.
Yes, and Mary Beth is a really great local author, and she does a lot in the schools too. And so that is wonderful that we were all able to be there that night last week, and that she was able to share all of her stuff too. So it was a lot of fun.
What will you write about if something happens to Flash?
Well, Flash is getting a little bit older. He's 11 now, so it's a little bit harder. He moves a little bit slower in the wintertime, but he's still very much fun, and he still has lots of adventures. And it's best to just use your imagination and kind of just work on ideas that come to you and go from there. So I will still continue to love Flash even after he is gone. So he's very fun.
Has your writing inspired the children to follow in your footsteps?
Well, my oldest daughter is back to school at UNI. She has her English degree, but she decided to go on and be a teacher. She wants to be a teacher now. And my younger daughter is also at school at UNI, and she is training to be a teacher in the elementary schools. So I'll have one teaching at the high school level and one teaching at the elementary level. And my son-in-law is also a teacher at the high school level. He teaches high school math. So yeah, my kids are very much into education, very much into learning, reading, and quite honestly, all of you inspire them too, because they love, when Zoe came to the book signing the other night, they thought that was pretty cool that she was there and had come to see me, and so you guys inspire them just as much as maybe I do.
Now would you like to read your book?
Sure, I would love to read my book. My latest book is called Flash, The Amazing Basset Hound Helps Santa. And my book this time is dedicated to my family because they are always there to support me. So while dreaming away on a cold winter's night, Flash was startled awake by his family's excite. His family was moving the red and green totes, shuffling through the house, humming Christmas notes. To observe all the scuttle, he lifted his head, watching the Christmas trees and the ornaments spread. Tinsel, holly, and gingerbread, stockings, presents, and more. Christmas lights being hung, a wreath on the front door. But who was this man they kept referring to? The guy dressed all in red with soot on his shoes. Drifting back to his nap, he heard bells on a sleigh. Santa had swooped in to get Flash to his toy shop away. I need some help, said Santa, to complete my dog toys, to fill all the orders for the canine girls and boys. Perky, Mugsy, and Purdy, Farley, Chloe, and Rox, his friends had their favorites to fill their Christmas socks. Chew toys and rawhides, squeakers, rope knots, and more. Santa's workshop was humming with toys all over the floor. Next they loaded the sleigh. Flash was all set to go, delivering the goods with Santa in tow. Flash marveled at the speed Santa worked with precision. He didn't stop for a nap. What a crazy decision! But on they kept going, visiting each friend's house to drop off the goods as quiet as a mouse. Each pet was curled up, snuggled in their beds. Santa was so sneaky, no one lifted their heads. And when the last toy was dropped and snow covered the sleigh, Santa flew Flash back home to the bed where he lay. Thanks for all your help, he heard Santa say, but the smell of hot cookies awoke Flash right away. A decorated house, the smell of fresh pine, a crackling fireplace. Where is the cookie line? A time to celebrate the gifts of the season, to enjoy, love, and laugh for all the special reasons. Flash held a soft spot for Santa in his heart, grateful for his chance to help his friends impart. Now would Santa remember Flash on that cold night to fill up his stocking with treats he craves in delight? Would he remember the bacon, all sizzling and yummy, the best gift in the world for Flash's empty tummy? Flash had made the good list. His Christmas wish had come true. Bacon treats for himself and his good friends too. The end. Thank you.
Does anyone have any comments about the book?
Go ahead, Kenzie.
How do you make these books so fast?
I don't really make them that fast. It takes me a while when I sit down to write. For some reason, I like to write when it's really cold outside and it's kind of snowy. So I can just kind of sit in my office and everything seems kind of pure to me then. So I like to write when it's really cold out. But it takes a long time once you publish a book to get it start to finish done. It takes quite a while to go through all the steps between the editors and the illustrators, who are the people who draw the pictures, from the marketing people and the people who design the cover. So it's a very long process, and it feels like I do it quick, but I really don't. It really takes almost a year for it to come out. So it takes a while.
Do all your books rhyme?
All 4 of my books do rhyme. I like to write in rhyming. I don't know that I will always do that, but it is how I like to write.
How do you write those books? Because they help my feeling get better.
Oh, how did they help your family get better, honey?
Because they usually do that sometimes.
Oh, thank you. Well, I like to write about things that are happy. I like to write about things that are kind of funny. So when I wrote Flash Visits the Spa, that was kind of funny. Because, you know, everybody can relate to a dog that's covered in bubbles and shaking at the groomers. So it's a lot of fun to read something fun and to make you smile. So that's what my goal is to make you smile when you read.
How do you make the right decision for the book title?
I spend a lot of time on that because I want to make sure that it's a title that tries to grab the attention of you guys. I want to make sure that it's something you would be interested in. I try to keep it simple, but I like, when I do the Flash books, I like always continuing using the words Flash the Amazing Basset Hound and then describe what he's doing. So I like to try to figure out what the best way is to tell you, the reader, what he's got going on in the story, whether it's he visits the spa or he helps Santa. So I try a lot of different ways to, I write a lot of different ideas down. Sometimes I just write on a sheet of paper all day. I'll write different ideas down for the title, and then I go back through the next morning maybe and I start crossing them off, and things that look good to me or things that stand out to me. Kind of like when you're writing your own papers for school and you correct and you edit yourself. That's kind of what you do.
Does your family, like, is they loud when you are trying to concentrate, or are they quiet and helpful?
Oh, they're very helpful. They're very helpful. And sometimes I just sit in my office and I close the door, and I like to think that way
Does
sometimes.
Flash come in?
Oh yeah, he has a pillow and a bed under my desk. So he sleeps right on my feet. That's what's nice about the wintertime, is he keeps my feet warm when he's in my office. Yeah, he has a pillow right under my desk. Zoe.
Why do you always write about Flash except for Flips of Luck?
Flash has kind of become, it was sort of a project to me that I felt like I wasn't quite done with yet. That's why I wrote another Flash book. I have some other ideas that I'm working on right now that don't involve him. So I may not always write about Flash, it's just the way that this happened to turn out.
I have every single one of your books.
Oh, thank you. Do you like them? Good. That's good.
I love you.
Oh, thank you. Who else has a question?
You do. Does it feel funny when Flash is on your feet?
Yeah, he weighs about 65 pounds, so he's kind of heavy. Yeah, but it's nice. If he's laying on my feet, that's why my feet stay warm. So, yep.
How long have you had Flash?
We have had Flash 10 years, and Flash was a rescue dog. So he's 11 years old now. He was 1 when we got him.
Maybe why you write about Flash is because that's all you think about is Flash, your favorite friend.
Yeah, maybe. And I think it's important for people to know that he was a rescue dog, especially this time of year when there are plenty of pets that need to be adopted and need good families. So I like to remind people that he was a rescue dog, and he has really brought a lot of joy into our family. So that's another reason I like to write about him.
I've never seen an actual rescue dog that helps.
Yeah, he's very fun. Yep.
What connections do you have with the books that you make?
All of my books are personal to me in some capacity. Threads of Love was a memory that I was having about my grandma and the farm that she grew up on in Kentucky. So that is why I wrote about that. The quilt that's on the cover of that book was one that my great-grandma made, and I still have it. So that's a very important connection to me. I like to write about things that are part of my life. I think when you write about things that are part of your life, they end up being the best stories because you know them the best. Go ahead, Zoe.
Has Flash ever tripped anyone with his long ears?
Yeah, I don't trip on his ears. He just doesn't move very fast. Sometimes he likes to be right underfoot when we're making dinner or in the kitchen. Yeah, and he's kind of short, so you don't always see him. But he's very long.
When I move, we might get a rescue dog, but we're gonna have like 3 dogs. We're gonna have a teacup Yorkie, a Maltese, and a German Shepherd for our guard dog.
Oh, that's various sizes. They're
But
very
the Maltese,
fun.
We're gonna get a male Maltese and a female Yorkie, so we can get a more.
Yeah, that would be very fun. Yeah,
These are cute.
yeah, they're very cute.
Savia?
What kind of dog is Flash?
He's a basset hound. He's a purebred basset hound, which means he has very long ears. He's short, has pretty short legs, and he's long. So, and he's a tricolor, which means he's black, brown, and white.
Oh, I've seen one of them before.
Yeah.
One lives on our block that I live on, and but he's about 2 years, and every time I see him, he'll start to try to chase me, and I have to jump over the rocks.
Flash doesn't chase anybody anymore. In fact, he mostly sleeps if people come to the door. He doesn't even respond to the doorbell anymore.
Did you read all the books?
I didn't read them all today, no.
Okay, Nevaeh?
Do you draw pictures of Flash and put them in your book sometime?
I don't draw my actual pictures. There's an illustrator that works with Tate Publishing, who is my publisher, who does those. What I like to do is send her pictures of Flash. So if I have some photographs that I've taken of him, we send those to her, and then she has an idea of what he looks like. And I have been lucky enough to have the same illustrator for all 3 books of Flash. That way he stays consistent looking throughout the series, which means he looks alike throughout. Same way with the title. I keep the titles the same so that they look familiar to you if you're out. Because the Flash should always be in red on my book covers. So that's what's fun about that.
Kenzie?
How do you get those pages in the cover slick like that?
That's what they're manufactured on. That's what the book company does. So I'm allowed, when I send in my stories, a children's book is allowed 10 pictures. So they will illustrate 10 pictures for me and then do a glossy cover. And their binding, they don't just staple the binding. My bindings are sewn, which means there's a thread that runs through that binding instead of just staple, so the pages stay in better.
Do you make Flash like the his name in red because he used to be fast or something?
No, I think it's catchy. I think people notice it then on the cover. You want something people will notice. Yes.
I wish I could have all your books because they're pretty neat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
On every one of your books, do they have the fast looking?
Like the little dash or the puff of speed? Yes. Well, they have the white cloud that sort of follows his name. And even though he's not really fast, they make him look fast. And I think that's what's important. They make him look kind of fast.
Yes. Well, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm curious about the size of the book. Does the publishing company determine what size it was going to be by the content that you send?
Yeah, they can help me determine. When I did my first Flash book, they chose the size. They sent me 2 options. This was the option I picked. And then because I wanted to keep them consistent, like the name on the cover, I have made all 3 Flash books the same size. So I want them to be, that's one more way to keep everything consistent.
Are you ever going to make a chapter book out of Flash?
I probably will not do a chapter book out of him, simply because I like writing the short stories a little bit better. I do have some other ideas for some chapter books, though, that I am researching right now.
Next year, like, are you gonna start like next year, the early of next year? Are you gonna start a Christmas book of Flash? Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, that's what I had. Yeah, that's what I spent all this year working on, and so I was really lucky to be able to have this for
Well, I
my
see
book
Rudolph.
signing
I
at
see Rudolph.
UNI last week. So yeah, I probably won't do another Christmas one. I've got several ideas I'm working on. So
You should make one of Flash for Easter or other holidays like that.
I know I've heard he would make a really fun Halloween book too. Lots
Yeah.
of kids tell me he would make a very fun Halloween book. So.
You could be a vampire bloodhound.
Would you make a Flash with Halloween, like Flash at the haunted house or something?
That would be a great idea. I have had lots and lots of suggestions for Flash. Yeah. All of which I will definitely think about.
Are you ever gonna plan on making a Flash book like for Thanksgiving or Valentine's Day?
Again, I would love to try and work on some of those concepts. Yeah, I think they would be a lot of fun. So I may need some help from you guys.
Okay, if we're gonna wrap the questions up, you guys are all done with your questions, we'll request that since we have Stephanie in our presence, how about she reads one more book for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Should we do the spa book today?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
That
do.
last two, but it's even better this
Oh, well, thanks. So let's do Flash the Amazing Bassethound Visits the Spa. Flash started each day with a long yawning stretch, too lazy to get up and hours away from playing fetch. He tossed and he turned in the soft blanket heap, hoping sunlight would fade so he could go back to sleep. But today, no sun shone through the cracks of the blinds. Rain pounded on the windows, the thunderstorm kind. These moments were tough for the lazy Bassethound, to find the strength to go out through the rain and trembling sounds. These are the days you wrestle to protect your fate, to stay out of the mud and to keep a clean slate. At first he lingered, dreading those wet paws, but then he ventured out, digging in his claws, and when no one was watching he drifted away to the mud puddle out back where Flash longed to play. Flash knew he was alone, so he plopped down on his back, twisting side to side just behind the lumber shack. His body covered in mud, his nails had turned black. The long floppy ears were stuck to his back. There was no denying it, he just couldn't hide. Flash was stopped at the door. "No entrance!" they cried. But he shook to break free, to not be wiped down, to run through the house with his sad puppy frown. So the phone call was made, and help was the cry. "Mud has swallowed my dog, he's all crusty and dry." "I am here," said the groomer, "do not fret about Flash. He'll be clean, lickety-split, and back to you in a dash. I'll find him underneath all the mud and the muck, and then it won't look like he's been splashed by a truck." So off to the car we wrestled this hound, paws dangling mid-air and stretched for the ground. She started with a bath, lather, rinse, and repeat, underneath the ears and deep between the feet. Rinsing so thoroughly to remove all the dirt, Flash was shaking his body and drenching her shirt. On to the blow dryer, ears flapping so crazy, with water shedding off and his body getting lazy. "Smile," says the groomer, "I will make your teeth shine," brushing each little tooth to a pearly white fine. Next on to those ears, they require much attention. Trim and buff his nails, add the red scarf for perfection. He was ready to go home, all fresh from his day. Flash's family was so grateful she had washed the mud away. Bounding toward the car, all glowing with pride, helped into the front seat to view the world from his ride. Once home, then nap for hours, smelling fresh and sweet, and all the while dreaming of his favorite bacon treat.
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is your daughter in that, well, did I say that right?
Which daughter, honey?
In that book was,
Oh, and yeah, she was a groomer at the time I wrote this. Yes, she was a dog groomer, yes. So that picture, I got to send in a picture of her too, and they even incorporated her into the book.
was that your hand in the picture?
Oh, it could have been. It could have been, sure.
We have time for another book if you.
Okay, I would love to. We're kind of working backwards here. We'll go right back to Flash, the amazing Basset Hound. All right, meet my new puppy Flash, all jolly and round, full of great spirit and love to abound. Flash came with great energy, all black, brown, and white. Wide awake only hours, yet he snores through the night. Flash has a sad face that hangs close to the ground, and he barks howling cries like a true basset hound. His short legs may slip at the corners when he turns, showing excitement to see us as he knocks down the ferns. But his greatest feature, which will grow through the years, are the extra large, extra long, big floppy
Ears.
Yeah. They hang to the floor, dunked in water they drip, and traveling downstairs can cause him to trip. Flash can hear with great ease as the supper bowl fills. His pace accelerates for his stomach's thrills. Dog food is overrated when mac and cheese can be found. Chicken, cookies, burgers, he's alert for pans to sound. But his ultimate, all-time, most favorite word, the treats he craves often and can often be heard. The one little word that creates such a stir. Bacon, bacon, bacon makes his heart go a whir. If he's hiding in the yard or deep in his sleep, rocking quietly forward, curled up in a heap, all you have to say is bacon treat, and he jumps to a hustle to turn his quick feet. There is hope in his eyes as he sits a perfect stance, whiskers sprinkled with drool, and his tail starts to dance. He'll shake, left paw only, to give you his trick, but you should shake quickly or your hand he will lick. Once handed the bacon, Flash runs off to hide, savoring each chewy bite with jaws opening wide. Once the bacon is gone, he awaits a great pleasure. Flash yearns for a car ride. The front seat is his treasure. He loves to ride shotgun up front and in charge, seeing the world from his throne, all the blue skies at large. He'll look at you and wonder, will you roll his window down? Will you let the fresh air in so his ears can flop around? Let the wind blow through as his cheeks softly jiggle. Drool flies from his whiskers and his tail starts to wiggle. Will we go to the vet? It's more fun at the park. He expresses his preference with a joyous, happy bark. What a day it has been. Now he's ready to nap. Find a pillow and blanket and flashes out in a snap. The best things in life, awesome dreams of a day. A basset hound's wishes that whisk him away.
Thank you so much.
I love reading voice.
Oh, thank you.
We are almost down to 1 minute, so does anyone else have any questions?
I don't even know what to say about your book.
Oh, it's so much fun to come here and read with you guys. I really, really enjoy it. Yes, Kenzie.
It's so great to meet you with you reading your books.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun to be here.
Anything else? Comments? Something like that?
No? Well, before we all go, I just want to say thank you to all of you for having me today, and that I hope that you all have just a wonderful holiday season and a very Merry Christmas, and I hope that I get to come back again sometime and read with you, because I would love that very much.
We'd want you to come again, no matter what. And I think, should we wrap it up? This is Zoe from Zoe's Book Club with a Lotta Books. This program is made possible in part by Mercury Trust, Bill's Youth Pavilion, and the Waterloo Center for the Arts, and KBBG membership support to encourage young children to read and share their reading abilities on KBBG-FM 88.1. If your children would like to read on Zoe's Book Club with a Lotta Books, just Google KWWL, Someone You Should Know, Zoe Campbell to learn more about our show, or call KBBG-FM 88.1 at 319-235-1515 and ask for Tina for scheduling. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas
And a Happy
Okay.
New Year. It's the last time, remember?